Well, hello and welcome to another live Sunday morning. Generally, not the sort of time I do come and do lives, and for the majority of people, they'll be in bed. So maybe not everyone though. So we'll see. So I did a review in the beer room last night, and yeah, I was bloody must have been pissed up because I come down. I watched the video this morning, and yeah, that is a proper drunk beer review. So these things happen as they do. So I've got an alcohol-free beer, Schneider Weisse, and yeah, I'm going to crack this open, and we'll see if anybody comes online for a chat, or if they don't. And then if they don't, then well, I'll just go back to chilling out on the settee and waiting for the wife to finish the Robin Hood half marathon. So they're down there this morning. They're starting at 9:30, I think. So they've got to go down and get set up, and rather her than me. It's bad enough waking up in the morning, then man going to do bloody half marathons. But in any case, I've got some barrels to clean out, stuff to wash, and yeah, glasses to clean and fill my glass shelf back up, as it were. So the only problem with doing beer reviews is the fact that you collect a massive amount of bloody glasses. And God, this could be one of them occasions where I'm on and absolutely no one comes on. So this will be interesting. Hopefully, but it's more to test this bloody Chromebook again. So what I've done, I've put the phone in the other room, in the hot tub room, and I've got the Chromebook on in the shed to see if it bloody works. Because the problems I have with this Chromebook and the internet connection and the noise as well, don't know why it does it. Bought this Chromebook primarily to do bloody live YouTubes, and the fact of the matter is it's not worked out as well as what I'd liked. I do think that's the actual internet connection to the shed though is crap, for want of a better word. But yeah, so anyway, we're in Oktoberfest season, and I've got the Schneider Weisse alcohol-free beer, so I might actually start reviewing it and hair of the dog. And can't even remember. I woke up this morning, and it's one of them times where you wake up and you think, shit. Wife's gone downstairs early, and I'm thinking, oh dear, I'm in for a bollocking. And no bollocking, no. Says you was drunk last night, but yeah, get used to that. It's weekend. Yeah, you know, can't get drunk at the weekend, and it's something wrong. Had some lovely beers on cast yesterday, mind you. Star Inn, went there, had what do they have? Oh, forgot what I've had now. It's on my phone. My phone's over there. I've been charging for the shed. So, early morning beer, alcohol-free beer. I'm drinking this early in the morning. Jesus, couldn't do it. So yeah, Schneider Weisse, alcohol-free Weisse beer. Got to be honest, alcohol-free beers, they're a little bit it's a miss. Obviously, this time of the day, we'll never flipping drink a proper beer. Bear in mind, I'm in the UK, so it's just 8:20 in the morning. It is not that sort of time. God, the chair's rocking. It's making me feel ill. Go and get a coffee in a minute. So, there we go. Alcohol-free Schneider Weisse. So, and we are in German beer season. I remember Alton Towers there was. There's probably people across the world thinking, he's not live, he's doing one of them scheduled jobbies again. No, I'm actually doing this. So, as you can see, there's lots of carbonation going off here. is a bloody big head. 3 centimetre, crap paw head. Golden looking paw. Sweet nose on this. Now I do find with alcohol free that they either chuck a load of bloody hops in to mask the fact that it's alcohol free, or they ramp up the malt and it tastes god awful. I mean, I've got to be honest. If you're an alcohol free drinker, then a lot of these beers are doing no good to that side of things, because you're not selling people good beer when it either smells funny or then the taste is just ugh. I mean, I know they can lower the ABVs down so it still tastes nice and you still get that impression, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this, because it's got that same whiff about it. Now, most German lagers have got this like a lager malt aroma going off, and this has got more of a sweet aroma than the typical. Right. Oh. Hair of the dog. Comes down the shed and it's like, Jesus. Someone's been in here last night because there's stuff on the floor. So when I came down, I must have fell over something or knocked something over. And I can't even remember it. That's the worst thing. Yeah. Don't drink beer. It's bad for you. Yeah. Makes you do silly things and get drunk and all them sort of things. So, okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad as alcohol-free beers go. Yes, good morning. It is. I thought I'd do an alcohol-free beer review, and I'm also testing this live connection again to the shed and seeing if it works, because I did a live stream, I think it was last Sunday, and it was all right. Nearly 3 hours. Got a bollocking off the wife for not feeding the little. Well, it's not that little. And then I did 2 reviews, and the reviews were crap. Yeah, for some reason, they said, people were saying, oh, it's picture quality's rubbish. Oh yeah, shit, no, fuck me. Don't do beer this time in the morning. No, there are all limits in this world. Yes. Yeah, I do find with alcohol-free beer that they try and overcompensate for the fact there's no flipping alcohol in it. Either the aroma is funny, or even the taste is funny. Some of the traditional beers, like your Doom Bar, Old Speckled and so on, they go down the malt route and they just taste overly malty, like teabag malty. Whereas some of the, like your Brewdogs and stuff, they go the hop route, where they chuck flipping loads of hops in, so that you think you're drinking a hop fest of a beer, but it's still alcohol free. Beck's Blue is probably the finest of example of an alcohol free lager beer, whatever, that you can get. And actually, I've drank Beck's Blue and thought, oh God, that's hit me. And so God knows what they put in it, because it actually feels like you're drinking alcohol, which is weird. Alcohol-free cider is a waste of bloody time, because it just tastes like pop. And yeah, this you know, it's I've had alcohol-free ciders, and it's like, well, what's the point? I might as well just be drinking some bloody fruit juice. So yeah, it's still not keen on the aroma, mind you. Still not keen on the aroma. And I've got my new phone coming in today, so that's great. Finally, the pain of the internet on this phone of mine, hopefully, will come to an end. I'm getting a Google Pixel 6a with 125 gigs of data. That's great, because over the next few weeks, I've got many live beer reviews and good evenings, good morning, or good evening. Well, it'd be good night over there. Good morning, Sam and David, of course. And Mark, good morning. Well, the wife's gone out this morning, so kids are in bed. Wife's gone out on the same day. Yeah, the wife's gone out, and she's gone to Nottingham's Robin Hood Marathon today. So she's doing the half marathon. Morning, and it's alcohol free. Before anybody asks, it's not bloody alcohol. Good morning, Lee. And so yeah, she's been up since 6. She woke me up. So I went downstairs expecting a bollocking as you do for last night's beer. I can't remember after a certain time. I can't remember what the hell I did. And then I look on my phone and there's a beer review on the phone, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, and I've looked for the first couple of minutes, and yeah, it's one of them drunk beer reviews. I'm uploading it now. Yeah, fucking hell. It might be funny to some. Yeah. So, hope everyone's all good at this ridiculously early time of the day. But, you know, body clocks, I get up at 5:30 every day, and on a work day. At the weekend, my body says, get the fuck out of bed. So, can't win. It's stunning, David. Yeah, St. Peter's Honey Porter is brilliant. Yeah, and you can mess about with the ABVs as well, adding sugar, you know, a kilo, half a kilo. You can take it from a 4% to a 6 and all the way up to about 11. Plans for the day. Well, wife's on a half marathon. My new phone's coming at 10, so I've got to wait back up the arse at 10 o'clock. So I've got about an hour and a half. Well, yeah. And then going to meet up with the wife for a celebratory drink. Well, they're not too many. Yeah, I'm still suffering from last night. Yeah, it's I noticed a bottle of wine sat on top of here when I came down to the shed, and the light was on the floor. So I obviously came down for a sneaky last one. Can't even remember doing it, but these things happen, don't they? You know, this is the only problem sometimes with having a massive amount of beer on the beer wall and a massive amount of homebrew on the floor, because it's just too easy to come down and help yourself. And it's that trigger point where your brain says, fuck it, I'll have another one. And yeah, happens all the time. I'm off to Sainsbury's today. If anybody knows, Sainsbury's have had a load of new beers in, traditional beers, and apparently Benjamin says they've got a load of craft beers in as well. Oh, it's afternoon there, so I thought it was about 12 hours behind. Just a random pick, mate. Always random. Yeah, usually a big strong beer. Yeah. Do you know, some people with anxiety, you've either, if you can't get to sleep, you're either going to take sleeping tablets, which I'm not so sure I'm good at sleeping tablets, good with them, or you're going to drink, or you're going to have sex, you know, I suppose. But then you do that and you still want to drink afterwards. But there you go. 2 nice West Coast IPAs. Oh, fair play. Yeah, Sainsbury's got quite a few new traditional beers in, got to be honest. 5:30. Currently 9 hours behind. Ah, right, yeah. 5:30 p.m. 9 hours behind. Oh, yeah, it's the other way, isn't it? Yeah. Brain's gone. I'm thinking it's that way. It's you in front. Yeah, of course. Oh, I am worried, David. Gotta say, really worried. Why the fuck did they buy 21 players? I don't understand any club in the world buying 21 players. I'm a Forest fan. I can't even wear my Forest t-shirt at the moment because I just don't understand what the reasoning behind it. 7 or 8, I could understand. because you float them into the squad, you float them out, you transition. Good morning, Mr. Bolton Wanderer. Alcohol free. But yeah, why would you buy 21 players? Who buys 21 players? Every single game from now, Mark, is a relegation battle for Forest. He's got to try and gel them players. I mean, I know he gelled that team last year. He gelled those players together, but they was already playing together. Obviously, Chris Hughton, for whatever reason, didn't manage properly. And you can see it. I can see it. 38, yeah. Hopefully we'll get more than 12 that Derby did. But it's frightening to think that you've bought all these players. If you don't stay up, then you've got to take them players back down with you. And can they afford that? Can they bounce back up again? I don't know. It took us all them years to get in the bloody division. Steve Cooper does not look the same manager at the moment either. He looks the wage bill, Jesus. And some of them players, what's his name? The lad from Man United, the one that, who are about. I don't think he's done bugger all. I mean, I'm hoping some of them fuck off early. But it's going to be interesting. You never know in football if there's a reason, if they're doing it to they like Steve Cooper, but they want to bring a big manager in, Pochettino or somebody like that, if he'd ever come to Forest. I just don't know. I don't know why you buy 21. Like I say, 8 or 9 players. Yeah, I'd agree with that. We needed to invest to stay up. But now all the youngsters that were floating coming into the squad are struggling now because there's just too many people in front of them. It's a weird one, it really is. Anyway, Schneider Weisse, alcohol free. About these beer home bargains start in May. Yeah. I don't know. Home bargains, they make good beer, they do. I've heard some reports about that new beer, but that's in there, some chocolate orange jobby or something. But I've not been to home bargains for a while. My home bargains don't get new beer anymore. They just don't get any new beers. I'm going to Sainsbury's today to pick up some new beers. I know they've got some in because I seen them the other day and I didn't have the cash on me at the time. And apparently Aldi's got some Oktoberfest beers, so that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, Mr. Bolton. He's gone overboard. I don't know what deals they've done to get these players there. I mean, half of them will probably go to Olympiacos. So, with this alcohol-free beers, and for people who drink or interested in alcohol-free, I was saying earlier, but no one was on then anyway. I was saying earlier that alcohol-free beers tend to be either massively malty to mask the fact that there's no alcohol, or super hoppy, again, to mask it. This is a German lager, so it shouldn't be either. And there's a sweety malt, so it is more malty. It's nothing like the old speckled hens and them, because they're just disgusting. You try and be nice about beer, but they're rancid. And the massive majority of alcohol-free traditional beers are shit, to be a nice person about it. They don't taste good. They've got that horrible malty tea taste to them. And I mean, if you want malty tea, you can just get a tea bag and put it in a cup for 20 minutes, let it cool down, then drink that. You get the same bloody effect. I definitely want to get the low-cost beer advent calendar for Christmas, if he does one, because it'll be about 45, 50 quid, because he'll get the beers cheap anyway. I think that's my absolute best route for a Christmas beer advent calendar. Plus, it's one everyone can get, because you'll break the free postage and packaging. So, I mean, you get these advent calendars and then chuck another tenner on top to get it to you. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you know, expensive as it is. As for taste on this, yeah, the nose isn't my cup of tea, to be honest. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not overly fond of the bloody the taste either. It's not the greatest to taste. Yeah, I mean, I've actually got some German beers that I got double of the other week. Got a fantastic order off the internet, holborns.uk. HOLBORNS.UK, and yeah, fantastic beers off there. Lots of good German beers off there, if you like your Germans, and cheap as well. I didn't get all of them. I'm hoping to do more lives. Like I say, bloody picture quality has been my bane, and then sound quality as well. And is it all right today? Off to film my Sunday newspaper video. I've a great one, mate, yeah? And I'm sure you'll find lots to talk about. In Tories, their budget. Howdy had Paul Arno Oktoberfest 169. That I'm interested in. Yeah. Oktoberfest pumpkin spiced shipyard. Wow. Now that would be interesting. I'm hoping for more Halloween beers in shops this year. I feel like they're missing out. Yeah, shops. Morrison's used to be the kings of this, where you get your Halloween, Halloween beers, Christmas beers. Good morning, Chorbyville, and that, and then they've stopped doing it, and now it seems like all the supermarkets have shrank their beer range, and yeah, just like we know. From Maine, USA, rightio. Wow, never seen that. I would love that. So it was a pumpkin spiced lager. Different. The Americans do have some amazing beers. It's funny because the 4 times I've been to America, I never actually went into any of their craft beer places. Went into Asda and or Walmart, whatever, and yeah, they had an old aisle of Budweiser. It's like, fucking hell, how many different Budweisers is there? And an old aisle of Budweiser. In fact, the only craft beer I could pick up was Blue Moon. That was back in 2013, though. So 9 years later, I presume it's going to be massively different these days. Erdinger. Good morning, Matt. Alcohol free, just in case anyone's thinking, Jesus Christ, he's starting early. Different varieties of Samuel Adams. And yeah, the one I had from America, Blue Moon, that had agave flavoured beers, which is different. Although with beers, they can throw anything into a beer, because obviously the malts and the hops take care of a lot of that and distinguish that flavour out. Yeah, I mean, I know someone's on about nettle beer. Fucking hell, I don't know if I'm bothered about that. Erdinger on tap in Germany. Oh, bless you. One day I'd like to get over there. I'd love to go to the theme park in Germany, the big one, Europa Land, I think it is. That looks absolutely amazing. But it's all down to money and the world we're in at the moment. The Tories, not only have they already destroyed the country's currency with some of their stupid decisions, but that decision to give all the rich to scrap the high rate of tax is just ridiculous. Yeah, let's just give the rich. And so what have they done? They've absolutely battered now the pound. The pound now is worthless against other currencies. Maple Moon makes an appearance at Halloween. Yeah, let's hope some of these do. Let's hope somebody at Morrison's or one of the other has got a bit of balls about and chuck in a load of Halloween beers. Could you imagine a Halloween beer fest at the supermarkets? Past Blue Ribbon. Yeah, that was at Own Bargains a year or two ago. I've actually reviewed that on the channel. It was decent as well, to be fair. So it's nice to be on first thing in the morning. Yeah, euro. The dollar's doing really, really well. Bugger. The only problem is last time I went to America, it was nearly $2 for a quid. Great. You go over there and like the clothes and all that. Good morning, Mr. Shark. The clothes was ever so cheap. Now you go over there and they'd be more expensive than they are in the UK. So that kind of kills that off. And yeah, it's same with like theme park tickets and everything else. Yeah, good old UK. We've got to get rid of the Tories. We've got to get rid of them. I mean, I thought Labour were bad, but these lot, Jesus me. And yeah, obviously filling the boots before Labour inevitably win and then take over. To be fair, in the good old days when I was at Sainsbury's and work nights, I'd come home and I'd get on the beer straight away. Well, I'd actually get on the spirits and wine to help me fall asleep. Interest rates in the US are higher. Right. Good morning, Mr. Tech Gamer. I think Labour are going to batter it. I think this, especially this year, the Conservatives have gifted it. People remember. Andor, no, not yet. No, I'm watching She-Hulk. It's all right. It's a slow burner. I do find all these Marvel series take a bit of a while to gain any traction. The best one was Hawkeye. That was amazing. And that girl who plays the Black Widow's sister, she's just so bloody funny. Her accent and just her personality is amazing. Bed glass on bed plonk for yeah. You've got to, haven't you? If you work nights and you're coming home in the morning, it's daylight outside. You need something that's going to wipe you out. So get a pint of something down you, wine, spirits, and then get to sleep. Problem is, I'd do that, and then I'd lie there, not be able to fall asleep, half drunk, not falling asleep. It's never good first thing in the morning. But obviously, if you've worked all night, then your morning, your days are different. You know, it doesn't matter about that. So, try this a bit more of this Schneider Weisse. I've had Schneider Weisse, and that doesn't taste anywhere near the same. It's just not, yeah, it's just not the nicest. Gotta be honest. It's, I'm not really keen on this alcohol free. I think I'd rather have a coffee than alcohol free. You know, there are some nice alcohol frees there. I've had some in the past. I've done reviews on the channel. I think Brewdog's was one of the better ones, but certainly Beck's Blue was decent. Banned from Instagram. Don't you think these social medias? Yeah, I agree, Mr. Bolton. Don't you think these social medias these days, you can't have an opinion? So I commented jokingly on somebody's Facebook last year, and it was a joke. And what happened? I got a 24-hour ban, and I'm like, what? And then again, I commented jokey again. This was another time. And again, I got a warning, and it's like, for God's sakes. And then on Instagram, I'm getting spammed to death every time I post something. Heineken, alcohol-free, right? Yeah. Lagers tend to be better alcohol-free than beers. Although, obviously, this is a German lager, but that's not nice. Coffee porter from Aldi. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. I see traditional beers coming back quite a bit, I do, because of the cost of craft beer at the moment. And everything's going up in price. Stupidly going up in price. Have you been to the supermarkets last week or so? The cost of everything is shooting up. It's going to be an awful Christmas for a lot of people. Not only can you not afford to put your bloody eating on, you can't afford to eat. And these food banks, thank God they exist, because you imagine a lot of people Yeah. Yeah, I posted a bit of a rant yesterday, and I had to change how I worded the rant. That beer of Wraggy I posted, because at one stage there was a red marker on it, and I'm like, oh, just because of a certain word. And I had to change the wording to make it less, so, you know, I didn't get a red mark against it. And it's like, fucking hell, can't you say anything these days? Even McDonald's value range is getting pricey. Yeah, it'd be like £3. £3 for a value burger soon. Yeah. I could just eat at McDonald's though. Whoa. Yes. Yeah, hash browns, sausage and bacon. Oh God. I could very, very much eat at McDonald's at this time. Hopefully my son will treat us. Yeah, he's got loads of spare money. Yeah. And my wife, she'll be running soon, so she's doing the 13 miles half marathon. I'm cheering her on from home. Metro paper. See, I don't see them anymore. I don't really go in shops though, to be fair. But you see the Metro papers in like city centres, don't you? See, I don't go anywhere near city centres now. Nottingham city centre is so anti-car that we hardly ever go in. And the problem is that they're so anti-car that all the people, all the big businesses now have just moved out. All these out of town centres are thriving because everyone has fucking moved out. Did I say that? I'll never know, you know. I forget what I say in videos. Apart from a few weeks where we was paid to be at home, but we had to go in for a day a week, I actually never. I did. We had some, but I was forced on me. You know, the lockdown thing. But I was still working 1 or 2 days a week, even when we were in lockdown. But yeah. But what you've got to understand as well, Bolton, with that, they've made a lot of money back on fucking petrol. With the cost of petrol and that, there's no wonder they're still making a lot of money on the cost of petrol now, being so high. So tax. So for whatever they've lost, they've made a lot of money back, clawed a lot back, and they're also, with all the people that died of COVID, or maybe not COVID, but COVID helped them on the way. That's got a lot of people off the the at-risk thing. I sometimes think COVID was just created to get rid of a certain population. You know, the frail. The ones that wanted to go, well, for the ones that wanted to die but weren't allowed to, for them, COVID in some ways was a blessing, I suppose. Although you won't be able to say that put on TV because you get yourself arse kicked. But yeah, it's gift baskets and praise for being home. That's cuntish, isn't it? Hey. See, a lot of my mates work in supermarkets, and they were working longer shifts. They were putting themselves at arm's risk. And not only that, the people that were coming in, you know, when it was just OAPs, they were all complaining that the OAPs were as rude as you could get. So it's just goes to show you. It's always the manual workers that get spat on the worst. It always will be. You know, the office workers, oh yeah. And it's always the manual workers. And they think you're Superman. They think you can just work. But, you know, inevitably, you wear down. I mean, I ain't had a proper holiday now. Well, it's 3 years since we've been on holiday. We've had a couple of day breaks and a night away, but not a proper holiday. And we're going away in October for 6 days now. We've actually put another day on. So we're going over to York for a day. So having basically a day and a half in York. So looking forward to that. definitely want to try and do Brew York, and the wife's not driving as well, so she can do Brew York. I'm not sure what's in York, pub wise and tap room wise. I had to apply to put my son to school because I was an essential worker. No furlough whatsoever. Yeah, it winds you up, doesn't it? You know, when you see other people off and you think, fuckers. And then you see pictures on Facebook where people are sitting there all at home in the sun. COVID was the funniest because that summer was one of the best summers for sitting in the garden. One of the best summers just sitting out and chilling in your back garden. But yeah. Yeah, I've only ever been to York on a pub trip, a work trip, works outing, you know, where you get steaming all day. So I never actually seen much of York. Seen plenty of the pub. Well, the pubs that we went in at that time, which would have been lager pubs. I didn't do beer reviews, didn't even drink beer at that stage. So yeah, looking forward to it. So I know Brew York are in York itself, I think, but it's about my knowledge of York. So I'll have to do some wraggy and Guy Fawkes. Traditional pub called Guy Fawkes Old House. Beautiful. All right. So the people we're growing with, they like their beer as well, so that's great. But they've got their two daughters. We've got my son with us, so we'll go around famous haunted boozer. I do want to do a you know, like one in each pub, and just to say I've been here. Great for the pub reviews, and you know, and see what beers are about. So 2 or 3 halves in each pub. Then at least then I'm not getting too drunk too quickly. Yeah, chips and gravy, halfway round. Yeah, stop paying expensive prices. I like my chips and gravy anyway, I do. Soaks the beer up. One of the best beer soakers you can ever get. Chips and gravy. Yeah, so we're going to be doing all Sunday. So I've got a very, very intensive boozy week coming up. Robin Hood Beer Festival on Wednesday, and I'm hoping to work it. On the 15th, I think that's this Friday, Robin Hood Beer Festival all day with friends from the channel, friends from real life, home life, all day down at the beer festival. Saturday, we may be going over. Good morning, Megan. Saturday, we may be going over to Beeston there's a totally brewed tap takeover. And then on the Sunday, we're going up to Leeds. So we might actually have Saturday off and off the beer, you know, try to at least. I have these days where I'm off the beer and it never fucking works out like that. I'm always back on the beer, which can be problematic. So out of curiosity, is the sound and the video working okay this morning? Because for me, I look at this screen and it looks good. The screen looks good at least. And I don't see my mouth a couple of seconds afterwards. You know, when I'm doing a live, I can see that I'm lagging, and it just, you can see it. It just creases the hell out of you. Yeah, you need something to look forward to, don't you? You know, the positive things to look forward to get you through a shit week at work. I mean, I've been on a right anxiety downer just recently, struggling like hell. And even the positive stuff, and for no bloody reason. Bruce Lee film. So yeah, next Friday, I'm at the Blue Monkey craft beer launch. I'm umming and ahhing about going, but I'm going to go. Take my new phone with me, do some beer reviews. Might even do a live from Blue Monkey's brewery. That'd be funny. And especially if it's not too loud. It's all right when they've got music playing. That just buggers you up. Cheers. It's this one thing about YouTube and internet and lighting internet. I've got good lighting in the shed, to be fair, but my phone's, I've got a hot tub room smack facing this shed, so you go in the hot tub and you come out and straight into the beer room, which is great. Although Not this winter, because there's no chance we're having the hot tub on this winter. It's too fucking not paying for the electricity. Wait till next year. Hopefully it will come. Hopefully the electricity and gas will come back down again. Hopefully, because if not, do you not feel sometimes that the electricity and gas is being priced to high heaven to get people to change to green methods? You know, if you can afford to get solar panels, get underground heating, and all these other things. Anything you can do so that you're not reliant on gas and electric. I know what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, but the prices were already going to go up before Ukraine and Russia. They'd already warned us that prices were going up. So in some ways, the war, as bad as it is, especially bad for the Ukrainian people, it was already set in stone. So it's like we'll use any excuse to push fucking prices up, and then to take the, you know, for the rich to drop the rate of income tax just boggles me. You would have thought that if you'd think they'd have to vote on that before it goes through and goes into law, you would have thought that the good Tories and all the other parties join together and stop it. Put a stop to that. If it's a bill, I don't understand politics. I'm not interested. They're all a bunch of money grabbing arses anyway. But they all love themselves. They might start off as people that are genuine. I suppose you could say the same about certain YouTube celebrities. They all start off with doing it for the love of doing like beer reviews, even for the love of doing beer reviews. And then when they start getting money and getting stuff for free, then it becomes a job. And when it becomes a job, the money side of it takes over, because money controls, and then the greed element takes over. And trust me, it can. If someone's sending you a load of stuff for free, and then you're getting a pint for free and all these other things, it's like, ooh, you know. Yeah. So, alcohol free? Yeah. Don't think I'm going to bother with any more alcohol-free beer reviews. I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's just not nice. It's not an enjoyable beer. I mean, this. Even though it's a Schneider Weisse, it's not tasting that nice. Coffee over that. But if obviously for those people who can't drink alcohol free is their only way in or it's their way of saying, I'm on the beer, because you know what people are like, they, especially if you get drunk and you're at a nightclub, you're getting drunk, at least you can grab something like that and you might look like you're still drinking, but you're drinking alcohol free. So in that way, alcohol free is a good thing. Pros and cons with everything in life, isn't there? Yeah, so getting a Google 6A, looking forward to that. The 125 gigs of live stream data is going to be amazing. I'm only on 45 now. So that jump will be bloody great. More live streams, yeah. And not reliant on the internet from the house, because the internet from the house all the way down here is crap. So that'll be good. And it'll be interesting to bring it down the shed, the phone, and actually stick it on in here and see if the problem with this shed is there's a foil insulation layer and it's all foil, like bubble wrap foil stuff. I couldn't afford the expensive stuff, and I reckon that just kills the signal. So the only way the signal can get into the shed is through the door rather than through this, and that's the problems that I have. Although it seems to have got worse, certainly this last year. Through COVID, it was fine. Yeah. So maybe the picture quality's got slightly better, and for us, it's more difficult. Anyway, I've done some beer hauls again this week. Jesus Christ, the beer wall at one stage was looking really, really empty, and in fact, I had glasses on the top shelf. I was that bloody empty. Now it's just rammed again with beers. And in fact, I've got another 12 beers on the floor that have got to come onto the beer wall. So yeah, it's getting crazy on the beer wall side of things. Hoping to get back down the old grain brewing route soon, especially before the cost of it to do a grain brew costs too much. And that's not my phone going off in the background. So I should make sure I've not had oh, my son's up now anyway, he can answer the door. So yeah, DPD are coming between 10 and 11. Not nice if you're working on a Sunday, mind you. But delivering me new phone, so good for the channel, you know. I've watched some of the old reviews back, and the picture quality is terrible on some of them. And no wonder people watch a review and think, fuck it, I'm not watching another review. Yeah, there was at Sainsbury's, there was a new citrus pale ale in there. A lot more. There was. I didn't have the money on me on the day we went in. There was at least 6 or 7 new trad beers, and apparently Benjamin said there's a load of new craft beers as well. So I will take a video when I go in later. Hopefully, go in later. I will take a video of all the new beers, and then also wanting to get into Aldi, see what are these Oktoberfest beers that they've got, see if there's any left. That's the thing with Aldi. Sometimes they only have a limited amount in, and it just seems to go. Breakfast time. Yeah, I'm ready for some breakfast. Might have to defrost some sausages and have a sausage sandwich. Oh, I do like a sausage sandwich. I've got some nice Lincolnshire sausages. Lovely. Yeah, live in Nottingham, but you don't get Nottinghamshire sausages. Get Lincolnshire, get Cumberland. But yeah, you don't get the others. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully brewing an imperial stout on grain brew soon. I want to grain brew it, but I want to leave it in the barrel. Now, here's the thing that I don't know if you can. And that's something that I'll have to do some brainstorming with the grain brewers out there. If I can leave an imperial in a barrel for a good 6 months, and maybe add certain flavours to it, like essences, and add a bit of flavour to it, or do you leave it to the last minute to add the flavour, and just brew it and leave it in the barrel? Yeah, exactly, Sam. Yeah, if I did night shifts and my only way of getting to sleep, because my body clock says, hey, sun's out, it's warm, wake up. And so I would be drinking a good bit of beer at stupid hours, just so I could wake up. Good sleep, rather, not wake up. Yeah, good sleep. But yeah, I had a massive spirit collection, and yeah, so that you can have a drink and not go. I get what you mean. Yeah. I've never actually jumped on any. I've never jumped on any actual stream, but I've watched the streams from the USA sometimes at silly hours. But usually I'm in bed for about 11 o'clock these days. Don't seem to make it past 11 o'clock. I'm always too drunk. Yeah, on a day ending in day, definitely. Yeah, these things happen every day. I say to myself, I'm going to be good today. I'm going to be good. I was going to be good yesterday. And then there's a 13.4% barley wine in a pub in Beeston, and they don't sell it in thirds. Why they won't sell it in thirds is beyond me. Oh no, we only sell it in half pints, and it's like, yeah, but it's fucking half pints of 13.4, you know. And so I necked it, and it was all right. It was a complex little beastie, master of poppets. Never even heard of him. No, not properly anyway. And I couldn't even tag him on the internet, so I don't know why I couldn't tag him across none of the social media streams. So God knows what's going on there. Usually you can tag somebody on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, but not once could I tag anybody called Master of Poppets. So yeah, not even sure if it's a proper brewery, but 13.4%. Wow, yeah, that took some drinking. And then we had another beer after that. I had a pint and a half for 6.2% after that. Then I came home and I did a 9%. I think it was about 9%. Double India IPA. So from Other Half Brewing Company out of New York, I reviewed that last night. A rather drunk beer review, as you do. Yeah, 8.5%. So, yes. Oh, we whack at everything. Yeah. Don't even remember doing the review. Woke up this morning, I looked on my phone, and you try to piece together what you did the night before. And you think to yourself, one, am I getting a bollocking? Walk downstairs, no bollocking. I'm like, oh, thank fuck. So, no bollocking, I thought. But why was I so... Why can't I remember what I did last night? Then I looked on the phone. 16-minute beer review, and I'm thinking, right, there's one of the reasons. Definitely. Then I come down the shed, and you see the pictures are starting to come together now. It's like, yeah. Then I see a glass here, cushions on the floor, the ring of light knocked over, and a bottle of wine here, and it's like, shit, now I know exactly what I did last night. And now I know why I fell asleep. I can't remember what I drank. And at least I was a good boy and didn't do anything wrong and didn't upset the wife. And yeah, these things happen, don't they, when you've had a beer? Yeah. And normally I just laugh and fall asleep anyway, so... And I've got a shed load of homebrew ready for this week away we're having. So we're going away we've got a drinkers group called Happy Drinkers. So there's going to be 7 adults, 2 18-year-olds, well, 17, 18. I think they're just turning 18. And then there's my son at 12, so it's going to get messy. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different lots of homebrew to sample over the week. So 2 or 3 bottles of each, and we'll see who gets drunk the first. And yeah, live beer reviews. I'm going to take my Chromebook with me and do beer reviews while I'm there in the evenings. You got to, haven't you? Yeah. I can't do it at home because there's no beer wall, so I will do while I'm there. So, and if anybody watches this now or in the future, York, is there a bottle shop in York called York Real Craft Ales or York? I'm sure I've seen it on Twitter because I commented and then they started following me. And apparently they've got an absolutely humongous range. There's Trembling Madness. Are they in York? Or are they in Leeds? I don't know. One of these days, I'll actually go on the internet and do some interneting and find out. So for people watching now and in the future, I'm actually drinking alcohol-free German Schneider Weisse. It's like most alcohol-frees. They can be either overly malty on the aroma or overly hoppy on the aroma. In some ways, the best alcohol-frees that I've ever tasted are the ones that they're actually like a stout, because the stouts, alcohol-free stouts, tend to be the best. Guinness alcohol-free actually is quite a damn decent version of an alcohol-free beer, whereas this, as a German alcohol-free, it's not nice on the aroma, and the taste isn't that nice either. Sadly. I mean, I might actually review it on a separate review and digest in there. Yeah, the alcohol-free Guinness, it's really decent. It's not far off the taste of proper Guinness. It really is. It's worth trying, especially if you want to keep off the beer. You want to try something, a little bit different. It's definitely worth a punt, especially if you can get a single can. Not buy it's like everything, isn't it? Sometimes you just, on any beers, sometimes you just want to try one to see if you like a beer. And when they come in 4-packs, and if you don't like the first one, then you've bobbed it for the other 3, and it's not easy then. I find some of the best shops for this are some of the little shops, because they'll break a 4-pack apart, even though they're not really allowed to, technically not allowed to, but they do anyway. Charge you a little bit more for it, but who cares? It's better that way. Yeah, because I've seen, Sam, that a lot of people now that were doing live streams have either stopped, or they've got into relationships and that, or they've had, bloody like me, having internet issues. So that's killed my live streams. The internet, you know, and crappy phone. My other phone, it's just my phone now is crap. The microphone's gone on it. And I mean, I use it to do like shorts, but you can hear the sound quality is rubbish, and I think I've got a bit of a grainy voice as well, so that don't help. Yeah. So yeah, you know, these people who can afford super good setups, you know, I'm ever so jealous, because if you've got the right, i.e. super strong internet, flipping great lighting, and a great phone, or whatever to use, microphone, phone, you know, you win on all sides. Yeah, the World Cup, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? It's going to be at silly times though, isn't it, the World Cup? The beer reviews, you know, the only problem I find with beer reviews, they're great. It's great to talk about beer, even if you don't really know that much about the flipping beer. I don't know a lot about half these beers, but for me, it's the taste, it's the aroma, it's the taste. That's you know, I don't really care for the history on a lot of them, or politics. I certainly don't care for politics, you know. Although if a brewery's pissed me off, then I won't review their beers. Yeah. Or if I do, they might get a not so kind review, but no, I'm not that bad. But beer reviewing, it's a great hobby. 4 years now, 4.5 years, nearly. Yeah. And the only reason I started doing beer reviews because I watched the TV one day and there's some little bloke doing beer reviews, and I'm thinking, I could talk shit about beer. And I have done for 4.5 years, talk shit. And yeah, made some good friends, both online, in real life. Friends with breweries. Some breweries. Not so. Some breweries aren't so friendly. Some just look at you. Oh, you talk about our beer. And you seem to get that with some. And I mean, I'm quite a positive person, positive beer. I try and be positive. But it's not always easy. I mean, sometimes it's not easy. I mean, Audi's twice as nice, kind of broke that, you know. And what was Ninkasi? Ninkasi was one of the beers that, yeah. And God knows what this beer tasted like last night, because I drank it. I have no recollection if I can even doing it until I looked on my phone. So God knows what I said about it. Hopefully I wasn't too awful. And I'm going to put that review on this morning, probably about dinner time. Chuck it on. 16 minutes though. So, and I watched the first minute and I was off steaming. Dropped something on the floor, and I was talking to it on the floor. So yeah, it's a proper raggy drunk review. So I don't watch it back. So hopefully I've not offended people. And I've had to kill a couple of reviews though, where you review, and I've gone off too far off tangent, and then I've watched it back and I thought I can't have this. I'll get myself banned off fucking YouTube. I mean, I swear now a little bit, but yeah, wasn't good. Anyway, let me try and drink this. Now, these alcohol-free beers, not my cup of tea. But if say you've got a bad hangover and you need air of the dog, again, that's where they deliver that alcohol sense, but you're not getting no ABV. Hour already. Wow. Thank you to everyone who has joined, even if they've flitted on and flitted off, thinking, what the fuck's he doing a beer review this time? And yeah, my wife hasn't even started running yet, so God knows what time she's going to be home. I think it's now, actually. I think the Robin Hood starts now. Was it 9:30? It's got to have 9:15 or 9:30. In fact, let me check my phone. Make sure she don't ring me. No. I don't think she'd be impressed if she knew I was doing a beer review this time in the morning. Funnily enough. Good morning, Mr. Adam. How are you? You was on the AF beers last night. So, matey, what's your favourite alcohol-free beers? And I've got to be honest. I think Erdinger was decent, if I remember right. This one for me, no. Like I said, I don't like the traditional beers that are alcohol free, like like the Old Speckled, Doom Bar. They just are a malt fest and too malty. Don't taste anything like the beer. And I mean, Doom Bar don't taste anything like Doom Bar these days. Well, certainly north of the brewery. The ones made by Marston's, yes, brewed by Marston's or Molson Coors or whoever bloody brews them. I always thought it was Molson Coors that did Doom Bar, but last night someone was saying in the pub it was Marston's. So I wasn't going to argue with them; it's no point. But I could have sworn it was bloody that. Guinness 0.0. Yeah, I do think Guinness alcohol free is one of the best. And in fact, I ought to tell my workplace this, so they stock it. Yes, that might be interesting. Buckling special effects. Yes, I've had Buckling. Yeah, I've had that before. I mean, is it Big Drop? They do some as well. And I think out of all of them, I mean, I like Beck's Blue. I think Beck's Blue is an absolute belter for what it is. Lager-wise, probably the best alcohol-free lager. Alcohol-free cider is a waste of time. It's just fucking juice. Really. My wife likes it, but I've drank it and it just tastes like pop. And it's thought, you're calling it a cider, but is it really a cider? Is it brewed like a cider? Because you're not getting the ABV. There's no sugar in for the ABV. I don't know. It's that's a proper strange one for me. Alcohol-free still ciders. It might be, but I'm not sure. I mean, you can get alcohol-free ginger beers. I mean, I love a ginger beer, but I'm not interested in alcohol-free ginger beers. In the grand scheme of things, Galactic Milk Stout. That's the one I've had. Yeah, it was in Tesco's. It was in Tesco's a while back. So, So, like I say, new phone today, Google Pixel 6a. So hopefully that will sort out my absolute issues with bloody internet that I seem to have. And beer reviews that look crap. And hopefully I'll be able to start doing live beer reviews back on YouTube again. Because at the moment I'm doing beer reviews using my son's old phone with the camera pointing at me, which seems to turn that round the other way. I don't know. It's I've even tried to go into the settings and change the settings, but I ain't been able to work out how to do it. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping on this Google phone that you can get. So what I'm doing, I've got my Chromebook here, and in my hot tub room, which is straight facing here, I've got my phone plugged in, and I'm using that as a hotspot. What's a hotspot now? And this is using the Wi-Fi, piggybacking the Wi-Fi. So Yeah, it's good to see it's coming through clear. That's good. Yeah, because I like using the Chromebook because I can see the chat. The chat sticks out brilliantly. Because with my eyes getting a bit older, and well, I think the drink don't help. But you know, I want to be able to see the chat because without the chat, if you're doing a live and you can't see the chat because it's too flipping small, and obviously when you've had a drink as well, while you're doing beer reviews, if you're drinking, then it's yeah, it's not good. It doesn't deliver a good beer review. Yeah, if you're trying to chat as well and you can't even see the chat because you're pissed. Yeah, but at least on the Chromebook, I can see it okay, so it's not so bad. And the good thing also about doing the Chromebook as well, and using this method, is that in future, say I was going to do a StreamYard event and doing like a collab thing, it will show up better because of this piggybacking the signal sort of thing. So yeah. So the cable I've got going from the house all the way to the shed. Waste time. Yeah, one of these days I might buy Ninkasi again and do a return beer review, and maybe not be so awful this time. But it was a genuinely awful beer. It probably wasn't my style of beer at the time as well. I was saying this the other day with I did a review of a Ninkasi versus Ninkasi Rose. Yeah, I was saying this the other day with I reviewed Partisan, their IPA, Partisan Brewing, and that was when I was doing like live advent calendar beer reviews, the low cost one. And that's where I'm going to go this year, low cost. I just like the fact that I ain't got a clue what's coming. And 99% of the time, there'll be a beer I've never had before. Again, great. Don't want to be drinking beers that I've already bloody had 5 or 6 times. That's what happened with Adventure Beer last year. I got to the halfway through and I'm like, it's already live. Ooh, didn't know that. Good evening, Matt. Cracker Reel. No cracking real beers. Not this time in the morning. But yeah, definitely want to get the low cost advent calendar this year. And I might say to Matt, say to him, are you going to get a load of them? The only thing is with low cost advent calendar, I don't think we'll all get the same beers unless he sets aside, say, hundreds of bottles of, and that's a lot of bottles to set aside. So I think you're going to get random, totally random in every box. I don't think, you know, I think it's an advent calendar in name, but you're not going to get the same. But then I had the Thornbridge one last year, and I'm sure on a couple of days I got the wrong one that I was supposed to be getting. 60 quid. Says only 10 left. Oh. So he's not banged a lot out then. And the price has gone up as well, from 45 to 60. 60 is still a good price, though. You know, depends what beers are in there, doesn't it? As long as it's not shite. But, don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to wait until I've got the pennies to get it. It says only 10 left, but you never know. You never know with that. It might be the fact that, you know, because let's be fair, shops do this. Last few remaining beers, and you think, shit, I better go and buy them. You get down there, they've got a warehouse full of them. So it's just, it can be a ploy at times. Not saying that is, obviously, but there's Firewatt Brewing Company near me. They're doing a beer advent calendar, and theirs are all big, mega, like Belgian beers, impy stouts, but it's 150 quid. Well, it was last year, 150. God knows what this year. And again, you look and you think, can I afford to do that? Yeah, I would assume that was the thing, Adam. But that's definitely where I want to go, the low cost beer route. I think that's if there's any left, obviously, when I actually get the pennies to buy it. I'm not buying anything before end of October anyway. Idaho 7 beer. So many hops, isn't there? I need to find. I need to. Lincoln Green had this brewing program that they use, a homebrew. It was a homebrew brewing program, and they had all the hops on there listed, what the hops do, and you know, if you're making what batch you're doing, and quite a brilliant bloody program. Oh, phone's making noises. Just cracking open a coffee. Yes, I'll be cracking open a coffee as well after I drank this alcohol-free beer, or at least some of it, because I put the lid back on and there's still that much left. My bald head, not totally bald. And this is alcohol-free. Thank you. 0% Oktoberfest Nescafe. Yeah, that would go down nice, wouldn't it? Bacon and egg cobs for the family. Oh, very nice. I'm going to go up the house and have a sausage and egg. Yeah, although I might need to ask the wife. Oh, I can't ask the bloody wife because she's out. No, she's done a bacon, so there may be a couple of eggs left. Maybe. This is the problem when you've got a wife who does cakes. The egg side of things get raided, and there's literally you go in the kitchen, there's like no eggs, and it's like, oh god, I just fancied an egg sandwich. So it's those little things in life: eggs, bacon. I mean, I work at 2 hotels, and then if I see sausage and mushrooms, I'm done. You know, a couple of slices of bread. Warm the mushrooms and sausage back up because we have leftovers from breakfasts that don't get touched, and yeah, cook them. Job's good. Marks and Spencer's Peruvian 0% milk stout. Ooh, yeah, you can't be an egg and bacon sandwich. No. What was interesting from the papers, Mark, are we still slagging the Tories off for their stupid budget? Because they need slagging off, you know. I need to go to Marks and Spencer's, actually. I've not been for a while. I walked in months and months ago, and the beer range, again, they'd shrunk their beer range. And they used to have them there was like 1 or 2 deep thick. And then we've got some of these crappy beers that are like 7 or 8 thick, and I'm thinking, hot tub room's freezing at the moment, and the hot tub needs a good clean. Oh, the budget. Yeah. I've done multiple videos that I had to delete because I was ranting, and I don't mean just ranting. I was woof. And yeah, I'd got banned off YouTube for a couple of my videos, but there you go. I mean, even on my Facebook, get rid of these fucking Tories, you know, and they are a joke. Hey, for some reason, I'd just say bring back Boris Johnson because these new idiots are worse than him. And all these people that voted for her thinking, yeah, she's going to do this. What did they do? Oh, dear. Let's rob the poor and give it to the rich. Yeah. Egg and bacon sandwich for lunch today. Woof. It's not going to be a good winter, is it? You know, at the moment you're already looking and thinking, don't put that bloody heating on. Close the windows upstairs. Open the parts of your house to get the sun beaming in, so the sun warms your house up. You know, luckily upstairs in our house is quite warm. But obviously that's not going to happen all the way through the winter. And them smart meters will scare the shit out of you. If you've got a smart meter in your house and seeing how much you're using on a daily basis, we unplugged ours and chucked it in the cupboard. I don't want to see what I'm using. I don't want to see every time I boil the kettle that it's 50 pence to boil the kettle. Jesus. Yeah, fill the hot tub up. 100 quid to fill the hot tub up with water. Cost of the water and the gas to go with it. Jesus me. And anyway, you're on a fixed rate till July 2. Yeah, my daughter is. She's on a fixed rate, but we're not. We for some reason the wife didn't do it. I don't know why she didn't. She's normally quite cute on them things. So I can't take it. It's just not nice. It appeals to someone. I get like a cornflakey element coming through now. It's probably my body telling me to go up the house and go and get a bloody sandwich. Egg and bacon sandwich sounds nice now because everyone's going on about egg and bacon. Just sounds nice to me, you know. So yeah, like I said, lots of good morning. It is an alcohol-free though. It was. Well, it was. It wasn't very nice. Coffee morning. Fair play. Fair play. You was able to get a family member a fixed rate, but not yourself. That's strange, isn't it? Brown sauce. Oh, I don't know. If it's sausages, it's got to be a bit of mustard. A bit of mustard on the sausages. Sausages in the oven for sausage and egg bagel. I am starving. You can hear my stomach, can't you? Bagel. Yeah, he's posh, isn't he? He's been to America. Yeah. They're like their bagels over there. And to be fair, I do like bagels when I'm there. And McDonald's do a good bagel, to be fair. I like the muffins, though, I do. But the muffins that you get at McDonald's are absolutely to die for. I don't like any of their afternoon stuff, but the breakfast stuff, woof. Was Jackman on Alive 3 hours ago? He's a bloody star, he is. Not Jackman and Craig. He can whop some beer down. He really can. Although both me and him got drunk last year at the Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. German sausages with little mustard packs. Ooh. I mean, I like hot dogs, to be fair. Hot dogs, normal. Good morning, Russell. Hope you're well, mate. I like the hot dogs in the pan, water, and then get them on a cob, mustard all the way across the top. Bloody lovely. The only problem is you can't have it 7 days a week, can you? You can't have it every day. So what's everyone's plans for today? I'm getting a new phone, so hopefully better internet. Hopefully better picture, better microphone. I still think I'm going to use this idea for beer reviews where the phone's over in the hot tub room, because there's nothing stopping the signal there. Whereas here, signal shit. 8 packs of them. Ooh. So where was this? Audi or Lidl? Lidl. RTO. See, IKEA sausages are nice, but they're not cheap. You don't half pay for some. Ooh, I had a tumble last night in the Firerock. Oof. Broken ribs. Oof. Oh dear. Not good, not good. I need to go up to Firerock Brewing Company. It's their 4th birthday on December the 4th, so we're definitely going up for that. Might see if the wife wants to drive though, because it's a trek. And then buses are shit. Really are crap. Especially the one that takes you around the arses, hour and a half to get there, and it's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't want to see all of fucking Sutton in Ashfield. Ooh. Yeah, so hope everyone's gonna have a good day. Firerock, yeah, they do, Adam. They need to get some bloody beers into bottles. I've heard they're doing a Black Forest Gatto Imperial Stout, so that should be amazing. If it's anything like that Rocky Road one they did a few months ago, if you had Call of Cthulhu, you would put it down as one of your beers of the year. It's absolutely amazing. You can't get it though. They sold the last bottle. I even tried to get the last bottle off them. They won't sell it, man. Yeah. I've learnt a lesson there. If ever I see a good beer, buy 2 frigging bottles. Don't be a stingy bugger and buy a one. But then again, you buy 2 beers, and if the beer turns out crap, you've got another bottle that's crap. So yeah, not always easy. Not always easy. Some of my local breweries, the good local breweries, need to up their numbers that they actually put into cans and bottles. Bang the Elephant are shocking at it. They only do so much, and they'll make a fantastic beer, and they don't put enough into bloody cans. Good morning, Darren, Mr. Urban Chicken Ale. And one of these days, I'll get yours into cans as well. Little bit of a whinge there, but you know, good beers in cans is what you want. More good beers. Looking forward to the Robin Hood Beer Festival, matey. Should be amazing. Hoping to get down on the Wednesday. I'm trying to snag some tickets. I think Navigation might be snagging me some tickets to get down on the Wednesday. And I'm actually might be working on the bar at the Robin Hood Beer Festival. Only on the Wednesday, though. And yeah, and I won't drink while I'm doing it, because if I drink and then work on a bar, I'll be steaming after about an hour, which won't be good, you know. Especially if I see someone from camera who I don't like, and oh, you. The Coffee Imperial. Yes, I've seen that you was doing a Coffee Imperial. Does sound nice, that does sound nice. What's the best IPA German beer? Mark is probably the best. Mark and Adam are probably the best two in the chat to answer that, because their knowledge of German beers is better than mine. And I just drink the stuff. I don't know a lot. And good morning, Kyle. Yeah, it's going to be a bigger festival, isn't it? It should be really, really decent. Like I say, Wednesday down there, hoping to get down for 1 o'clock if I can snag a ticket. Hoping to get down for 1 o'clock and do an hour or two walking around. 4:36 a.m. in the States. Wow! Thank you for joining. And Betty Buy's time. 9:30 in the morning here, so yeah, 5 hours behind. This side of the States then. Wednesday and Saturday you're there. That's good. We'll see you on the Wednesday then. Yeah. And I'm hoping to do a few beer reviews while I'm down there, if I don't feel embarrassed. It's funny, I can talk shite on a computer to people from around the world, and I'm out down at a pub or somewhere, and I get stressed and can't do it. And yeah, very early morning. Yes. Although I get up at 5:30 most mornings for work. So yeah, normally that time of the day when I get up for a wee. And I don't know what it is these days. I've got this. It's like a 3 or 4 o'clock wee where you get up, go for a wee, drink a lot of cold water, you know, to hydrate your system. And I should always do that before I actually go to bed. Be a good idea, wouldn't it? You know, when you've had a beer, actually hydrate your bloody system. Yeah, then I might not wake up feeling like crap and have hangovers. Mine's mostly stress, to be fair, not hangovers, not proper hangovers. But yeah, looking forward to the beers at the beer festival this year. Super exciting that Bang the Elephant have got an actual brewery bar this year. I think they're going to have some Emperor's Brewery beers on their bar. Obviously, Totally Brewed and Black Iris are back, so that's going to be interesting. I wonder if either of them will have keg beers on instead of just cask. I would have thought that a lot of the breweries that have got bars will actually have keg on now. You know, it just gives you that ability to just chuck another one on. Obviously, with cask, you're struggling, aren't you? Because moving them beers up. Although, when you look at some of the beers that they've got there, they have them too. They just move them forward, don't they? They don't actually lift them up. So yeah. Make sure you do what they do with all the reserve beers that they have at the beer festival. You know, the reserve beers that don't get even opened. Because Robin Hood Beer Festival is ridiculous, the amount of beers they have. And this year it should be massive, even compared to last year. Yes, in Nottingham, in good old Robin Hood country in the UK, yes. Berlo is an okay German IPA to try. It uses 3 German hops. Yeah, I don't think I've had many German craft beers myself, to be fair. I've actually got some, though. Oh, God. Full name off. Oh, dear. Pick these up from Low Cost Beer. It just came to me then. So I've got, I don't know how you pronounce it, First Weisse Botanica IPA. I think it's from Munich, German. Don't ask me how it tastes. I ain't got a clue. And then another one, again from the same brewery, Jejun IPA. And again, no idea what it tastes like. And then I've got Berlin Landbier. That's a lager, so craft lager. But so yeah, I've actually got some German. Right, looking at the time, probably another 10 minutes at maximum because 1, I've got to go and get me dinner, breakfast rather, and 2, I've got my new phone coming and I daren't miss it because they'll chuck it over the flipping fence. You know what these DPDs are like? They'll leave it at the door, and yeah, and then some freeloader walks by, parcel, and gone. And you're not telling me that don't happen a lot these days. Is it? Oh, righty-o. I love Low Cost Beer. I think it's one of the best resources on the internet for random beers. Cheaper. You may get some stuff that's out of date. You may not. It may not be out of date. Is the British people still grieving from the Queen? She was 96, though. Let's be fair. You know, she's had a good innings. You know, ask every one of us here, ourselves, would we like to get to 96? Yes. As long as I wasn't pissing and shitting myself. And so, yeah, she's had a good life. The British media, they so overplayed. They rammed it down your bloody throat, all this grieving. I know there's, you know, we've never seen it in our lifetime, so none of us have seen all this pomp and ceremony before. But it's like this bandwagon where everyone jumps on the bandwagon. And I mean, the year before, it was in 2020, it was Black Lives Matter. And everyone jumped on that bandwagon, and it's just disappeared again. And then it's like now, the Queen, they all jumped on the Queen bandwagon. I mean, yeah, it is sad for the family. Will you see William take the throne? Yeah, of course you will. Yeah. Charles is 70 odd now, isn't he? And so what's he got? 10, 20 years at the most? So, yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, 67. So I think he will. I mean, he's been waiting all his life, hasn't he, to be the king? Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if he puts his foot in it, like, you know, his opinions. Because obviously when you're king, it's different to being a prince. As a prince, he can say what he likes and probably get away with it. As a king, you know, he's got to be a bit more careful in what he says. So he'll probably chewing it. He'll be sitting there and he'll be like, oh, fucking, I want to say something. But I reckon he'll say something. I reckon that, you know, people with opinions can't hold back. You know, you can be somewhere and for a while you can chew on it and you're like, oh, God, you know, but at some stage it's going to blurt out. It's as simple as that. Craig's chucking a lot of lives out recently, isn't he? But then again, his lives are pretty decent. He has the Americans on. Yeah, he has some good lives, he does. I've been on a Craig live for a while. I tried to join one the other week, but I couldn't even hear what Craig was saying. My phone, rubbish. I couldn't hear what he was saying. I thought, there's no point in me trying to join the live because I won't be able to hear any of it anyway. And they probably won't be able to hear me because of my crap phone as well. So I've got a speaker that's crap and a microphone that's crap. So I've got the double whammy on that. But hopefully today, back to having a decent phone. Yeah, I wish. And yeah, and it'll be coming. in any time soon. In the next, well, any time from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So that'll be great. Get it set up. Wait for the wife's phone call. Scotland Wonder's got an Oktoberfest live tonight. Yes, I've noticed there's been a few Oktoberfests. Yes. I might give my phone a run out live later, but I'll divert away from their Oktoberfest because I'm not competing on lives because it's just is that how many lives you've joined, Luke, or is that what you're doing yourself? Yeah, you've got to be careful. I had this thing where I was doing like 3 beer reviews a night, every flipping night on YouTube. 1, it ran the wife up. 2, I'm coming home and I'm doing 2 hours nearly in the shed. And it got to the stage last year where she cracked, and yeah. Do a live once every 2 weeks. Yeah, I get people messaging me to do lives quite a bit. And there's only so much you can do, got a real life as well. Do enough bloody beer reviews. The worst Oktoberfest ever, Mark. Is everyday beer the Brits drink as Guinness? No, not really. No, not these days. If you're a supermarket drinkers, Guinness is just a popular beer over here. I won't say it's a beer that you drink all the time. Nowadays, with the advent of craft beers and so many breweries across in the UK, there's literally something like 3,000 breweries in the UK, all troughing beers out. Yeah, Guinness is just one of lots and lots and lots. It's obviously a popular beer still because it's one of the most popular in the world. But then look at the Brewdog beers. Just because the beer is popular doesn't mean it's good or great even. Oktoberfest at the 5. Yeah, I definitely want to get for the 4th beer festival. Definitely. God, yeah, Luke. Jesus. Yeah, there's only so much you can stand on the internet. You've got to give yourself YouTube can be very addictive. I find that banging bloody reviews out. I mean, if I'm drinking a beer and I've not had it before, it's getting reviewed. Simple as that. But it can get so chuffing addictive. But if you're having a laugh, it's not so bad. But if you've got family, then oof, yeah, it can do things, and it's yeah, Sam, you bang on the money, mate. You can get burnt out. I've had a lot of burnout, and I don't tend to do lives where I'm just chatting. I like to do lives where I'm doing a beer review. When doing beer versus beer, because that's more interesting for me. Having the chat in the background, brilliant. But actually, from my side of things, just sitting there chatting to the screen, I'd rather do the beer versus beer. The interaction's amazing, yeah. Especially as long as you don't get spammed by idiots, come on trying to wreck it. But then again, you've always got the like someone did earlier. Someone posted something earlier. You just ignore them or you delete them, ban and delete. That's why you have people with the spanners on, just to take care of the idiots. Yeah, Craig does his late nights. He does his midday lives as well, and that's his way of dealing with his anxieties and all that sort of thing, mental health. And sometimes talking to people, getting people to join you on lives and chatting is good. And hopefully, once my internet's sorted out properly, I'll be able to do this where I can bring somebody. I think Adam and Borman and Craig, obviously, are the only ones that I've actually brought onto a live in my shed. I mean, I've joined other people's lives, but only with them. Bud Light or Natural Light. Yeah, last time I went to America, the Budweiser in Walmart, a whole aisle of Budweiser. And then you walk around the shop and you're like, fucking hell, they're selling guns. And it's like, whoa, what's that about? Guns in a supermarket. Obviously, we don't get that in the UK. So it's really strange. You know, when you see it and you're like, whoa, that's weird. Can't wait to go back to America, though. Yeah, it is a bit watered down to what we have over here. I mean, America do have some mega imperial stouts, though. You know, there's a lot of good craft breweries in America. I've got a load from New York, from other half brewing company in New York. So yeah. Right, I'm gonna have to go up my house and go and wait. Back in the USA next June. Oh, fingers crossed, mate. Yeah. 100 stouts to review. Fair play. I know my beer wall is getting more expanding all the time. And I've got a shitload of bloody homebrew as well on the floor. And I do mean a shitload. And I'm hoping to do some more brewing soon as well. I've got my wedding vows next year. And I'm hoping to brew 2 or 3 barrels for that of Imperial Stout and release them at the beer festival, as you do, along with a load of local beers as well. So should be a flipping good wedding night. Jesus, I don't know about the hangover the next day. Yeah, might need to get a taxi home. Could be too drunk still, but yeah, should be a good day. Thank you everyone for joining this morning. Stout on Out show coming Wednesday, 5 a.m. Bit early. Thank you everyone for joining. German Oktoberfest coming up soon. I've already been to an Oktoberfest, to be fair, at Alton Towers. It was nice. Nice to have a bit of German beer as you're walking around and then going on the roller coasters. Whoa. But anyway, thank you all for joining in, and we'll see you soon. And hopefully my phone's decent. Otherwise, I'm back to the same old shitty phone. But cheers all.